And those of you in the class already see the photograph of this person, Krobo Edusei. Krobo Edusei. How many of us have ever heard the story of Krobo Edusei? How many of us? Put up your hands. Oh, wow. Well, we're going to be talking about Krobo Edusei. Put down your hands, please. And it's going to be an interesting class. It's going to be very interesting. In fact, it will inspire you. This is the class. Krobo Edusei was born on the Boxing Day of 1914. He was 5 years younger than Kwame Nkrumah. In fact, Krobo Edusei, my brother, my sister, who was born on the 26th day of December in 1914. And he died, my brother, my sister, at the age of 70. He lived quite a long life. Let's find out exactly who this man was. Krobo Edusei was born in the Ashanti region of Ghana. And when he was growing up, many people praised him for his oratory. Unim kasa. He was say uye juma ewa ahimfie. Ukasa te se ochiame. He knew how to speak. He had the gift of oratory. He wasn't a man who went to school. He was a young man growing up in the slums of Kumasi and beyond. He loved to do business. And his gift was that he loved to interact with the ghetto dwellers. He would move from one ghetto to the other, sit down with the weed smokers, sit down with the people who had been thrown out of society and called hoodlums, talk with them. He knew every single ghetto in Kumasi. He knew every single ghetto in Ghana. He traveled to Accra, left, right, and center. By the age of about 25, he was known by almost every ghetto in Ghana. Krobo Edusei himself started selling marijuana in the ghetto, Ntampe. He sold it. He was so close to the ghetto people. He was extremely close to the jugular vein of the ghetto. He loved the ghetto. He never despised the ghetto. He himself was part of them. In fact, he joined hands with them and they saw each other as one. My brother, my sister, born on the 26th day of December in 1914. 42.5 years before the independence of this great nation, today called Ghana. My brother, my sister, Krobo Edusei was very instrumental in the independence struggle of this nation. How did he do it? With not so much of education. Because he grew up in the ghetto. He was a hustler. He spoke Pidgin English very well. He also taught himself to read and write at a certain age. He was full of native wisdom. Ahimfie nyansa, royal wisdom, Krobo Edusei. He struggled all his life from when he was born in the ghetto. The ghetto dwellers were his friends. Krobo Edusei. And when the independence struggle of this nation started, somewhere in 1947, my brother, my sister, when Kwame Nkrumah started advocating with the UGCC for self-government, Krobo Edusei immediately got in contact with Kwame Nkrumah. And when he got in contact with him, he told him, "Uni Bibi, Media brofono min tinu bebre sa. But adebia obekano. Meti. And Nkrumah said, oh, unu animi o. Wo msa me enzimani. So twi no. Meka, especially Fante. My brother, my sister. He was one of the very few people Nkrumah spoke Fante with. Krobo Edusei was gifted with the gift of languages. And he spoke a plethora of languages, yes? A plethora of languages. Several languages he cracked down. Many people said, give him just 2 months. He will speak any language in the world. He was so gifted. Nkrumah loved him because of his native wisdom. He joined us with Nkrumah. He realized that when Nkrumah broke away from the UGCC, there was instant hatred for him. They did not see why Nkrumah should become so popular and even lead the independence struggle. It should be an Akan. But look at what Krobo Edusei did. He knew his people, the Ashantis, very well. And he knows, my brother, my sister, he knew at the time that the average Asante man is a very proud man. If anything at all, the West Asante man is better than the best of any other ethnic group. Krobo Edusei knew that the people were fighting Kwame Nkrumah. The people were not happy with Nkrumah. You know what he did? He told Nkrumah, listen, leave Ashanti region to me and leave all the Asantis in the world to me. I will make sure that they will worship you. That was what he told Nkrumah. And Nkrumah said, hey, is it possible? I am an Nzima man. And the way the Akans are fighting me, even though I am an Akan myself, is terrible. He said, leave it to me. He went to the capital, Kumasi. From ghetto to ghetto, everybody knew him. From one weed smoker to the other, he will sit with them, partake in the ritual of smoking, and they will discuss things. He got ghetto dwellers, in fact, predominantly weed smokers, to go around preaching Kwame Nkrumah and pushing the agenda of Kwame Nkrumah in almost every ghetto, the grassroots of Ghana. In no time, he conquered the whole of Ghana's slums, aka ghettos. Krobo Edusei sometimes will go to the house of Zongo, speak to them, and would use some Hausa terms and words that he learned on the way. They believed in him as a ghetto man. Hey! Nkrumah got massive support from the Ashanti region that overwhelmed the UGCC and all those things that swore allegiance to the UGCC. Krobo Edusei, hey! He didn't have so much education, but he had native wisdom. On the 6th of March, 1957, Kwame Nkrumah became president of this nation. My brother, my sister. And when he became president, giving us our independence, oh my God, he never forgot Krobo Edusei. Krobo Edusei would always dress in his native Ashanti attire. He would speak Twi, sometimes speak Fanti. Nkrumah decided that it's not all about formal education. He will still make him a minister of state. Even though he didn't have so much education, formal education. Hey, listen to what happened now. Kwame Nkrumah recognized him for galvanizing support amongst the Ashantis for him, for the independence movement. First and foremost, he made him a minister without portfolio. You know what that means, right, students? And then from that point, he made him minister for agriculture. Nkrumah trusted him so much. He also made him minister for transport and communication. And then he made him minister for interior, because he knew that Krobo Edusei knew everybody who mattered in this country and outside this country. Hey, it was hot. One day, Kwame Nkrumah decided to visit Krobo Edusei. And when he got to Krobo Edusei's house, he realized that Krobo Edusei was sitting on a golden sofa, the settee. And he asked him, "Is this gold?" He said, "Yes, Mr. President. Remember, we are in the Gold Coast. We just turned Ghana, so we must have gold." He said, "How can you have gold sitting in your house when the nation needs all this to be able to grow? You are keeping gold in your house." He said, "Oh, you know that I'm from the royal family." Nkrumah said, "Shut up." He got angry and he chastised Krobo Edusei. Krobo Edusei quickly decided to beg Kwame Nkrumah and to tell him that he would, in fact, make sure that the gold was sent to the coffers of the nation. Nkrumah got angry and was walking away. Krobo Edusei was only wearing shorts. So he decided to go into his bedroom and put on his trousers and a shirt and come out and see Kwame Nkrumah off. But Nkrumah waited and waited. He wasn't coming out, and decided to go into his bedroom, at least to find out what Krobo Edusei was doing there. When he went in there, he realized that Krobo Edusei even had a golden bed. His bed was made up of pure gold. Nkrumah said, "Hey, Edusei, what is this? Have you been to my house before? The bed in my house is so creaky. When you sit on it, you hear it creaking. And you who is serving under me and under the republic, you have a golden bed? What are you doing?" Krobo Edusei became so embarrassed, and Kwame Nkrumah decided to sanction him. In fact, just as Kwame Nkrumah was walking out, he realized that Krobo Edusei had at least 4 ladies in the house. They were not Ghanaians. They were Obroni. He had imported them from England for his sexual pressure. Yes. Krobo Edusei, like Idi Amin, he will not deal with one woman. In fact, they were the earliest proponents of doggy style 2 psalms and 3 psalms in Ghana. That was what Krobo Edusei was doing. Nkrumah got angry and walked out, promising to sanction Krobo Edusei. News was all over the place how Krobo Edusei blew money away and how he imported foreign girls into his bedroom. He wanted white women. Nkrumah was embarrassed and decided to sanction him, and he sanctioned him. In 1966, when Kwame Nkrumah was overthrown, one of the very first ministers to be arrested was Krobo Edusei. In fact, he was arrested and imprisoned by Ankara and his people, Kotoka and the rest. They beat him up so mercilessly, maltreated him, but they freed him after some time. And when he was overthrown, he decided to stay in the country and continue to be with his ghetto people. When he made money, he would go to the ghetto and still give them money. He never forsook the people of the ghetto. He was always with them, even when he was in power and had all the money. Nkrumah started to fall out with Krobo Edusei because of the way he blew money. Oh my God. When Nkrumah was overthrown, he stayed around. And when Busia won the first election after Nkrumah, and the CPP had been banned, the PNP, People's National Party, led by Imoro Igala and the rest of them, has started campaigning using the Nkrumahism card. Krobo Edusei quickly joined them and said, I gave Nkrumah all the following in the Ashanti region. I promise to give you the following in the Ashanti region again so you can win elections. And he delivered. There was a time he went for campaigning in the Ashanti region. And this was what he said. Don't take it personal. But he was a man with native wisdom. He told them, the presidency is a very difficult job. Is it true or false? And the people of Kumasi said, Ampa. He said, if something is very difficult to do and is so heavy to carry, which people in the north are noted for carrying heavy load like kaya. He said, oh, pepe fuono. He said, no. Samaka and the muntu emma hilaliman or a pepeni. My God, have mercy. This was what Krobo Edusei said, and he sealed the doom of the other parties. They won the elections hands down. Krobo Edusei, my God, he was full of native wisdom. When Hilali Man became president, he also remembered him, and he made him a key member, in fact, a very influential senior member of the People's National Party. My brother, my sister, hey, Krobo Edusei became so powerful, but this time around, he tried to stay away from the golden bears and the golden sofas and so on and so forth. But as for the women, dabi. Hey, Krobo Edusei. Krobo Edusei was always with women. British and American women. All over the place. He made so many children all over the place. Krobo Edusei left behind so many children. In fact, when Hilali Man was overthrown by Rawlings, Rawlings immediately arrested Krobo Edusei again. He locked him up. In 1983, he was in jail, struggling and suffering. He was freed, but he died of diabetes on the 13th of February, 1984. Oh, Krobo Edusei, the golden bed. Krobo Edusei was married 3 times, and he had numerous children who remained active in the Ghanaian business world. None of them is too interested in politics. In fact, the most notable amongst his children include Yao Krobo Edusei. He's a businessman and a ports operator. In fact, a shipping man. We also have Lucy Lamte, former legal director of the Ghanaian government agency, Social Security and National Insurance Trust. In fact, and we also have Comfort Emden and Catherine Krobo Edusei, all in the world of business. Today we remember Uncle Krobo Edusei. Papa, why be? If you answer, then now will be Papa. He decided 2 elections, swaying all the votes from the Ashanti region for those that he loved. He used Efie. He used his connections in the ghetto, the grassroots, to make people follow his whims and caprices. When he was even so rich in power, he still remembered the ghetto and went back and made them feel good. In fact, all his life, he never needed a bodyguard. The ghetto supported him and guarded him And he was a man who met so many different people as Nkrumah sent him around on errands. He learned on the job. He delivered his biggest problems. Number one, the golden bed. Number two, the women. But Papa, yeah, Uncle Krobo Edusei. Unenyamin wate. Oh, uwo ya wate. Yeah, Uncle Krobo Edusei. Unenyamin yeah, Papa, uwo ya wate. Oh, Papa, unenyamin minu beko wate. Papa, misi minu beko, Uncle Krobo. Uncle Krobo Edusei. Misi minu beko. One for Profudimbia. One num Coca-Cola. Una umpe Fanta. Usin safufo nintampinko. Yeah, Uncle Krobo. Misi minu beko wate. Na Francis de Wanfabi. Jonathan nso wamfa, Elik nso wamfa, ufa Krobo Edusei. Uneyaminko, Papa, uneyaminko. Na mbisi afun, abrofum mbisi afun. Na nso waye bi Papa. Uneyaminko wate. Oh, Papa. In the burden of knowledge, I ask you, now that you know the story of Krobo Edusei, what would you do? Bianeni olea mini obafe. Yenzunda kagane mezaka yine. Ye papango bokaya nang. Fifi ya yenyandu kaina wo. Bana yengu ebaya den. Lele yanjima singa bekone. Lele yanjima singa bere.